Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're here. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm not doing well, but we're here. Everybody's got a win of the news today, I'm sure. I'm sure. Very disheartening. Very, very disheartening. Today, the energy shifted. The energy truly shifted today. I don't mean YouTube shifted, I mean courtroom shifted. Today, just under 2 weeks, just under 2 weeks before trial was supposed to start, Jarvis walks in that courtroom. And instead of saying, let's go to trial, Jarvis says, guilty, guilty, guilty. Second-degree REDRUM, plus 5 CSC cases, 6 total. Jarvis took a plea deal that would give him 35 to 60 years. With 10 to 15 on the other charges. But it's all running concurrent. Meaning the REDRUM charge is going to eat up the other charges. Those extra charges is not going to stack. They're actually going to get swallowed up. Now understand 35 to 60, that's a long time. That's prison time. But a plea deal on time like that, Jarvis, goes back to something I said a long time ago. Jarvis will not stay in prison. That's guaranteed. Just look at the way this is going. Just look at how it's going. We lost a trial. We lost the cross-examinations. We lost testimony. We lost evidence being presented. It's almost like we'll never really know the truth. But Shannon knows the truth. Annette knows the truth. I know what he said. I know exactly what he said. He said he dumped her body in the Rouge River near Mile and Berg. 2 years later, her body still have not been found. And if Jarvis actually did drop that body in Rouge River, do y'all know Jarvis actually had to put some weight on Naziah to keep her down to the bottom of that river? To just say he threw her in the river the way he said he threw her in the river that body would have surfaced a long time ago. I've been sick since this morning, y'all. Shannon should be ashamed of herself, and Annette needs to be ashamed of herself, because there's no way. Now, if all of this would have came out at trial, we have to ask ourselves what else was going to come out. Because what trials normally don't do, trials don't just expose the defendants. Trials expose everybody that played a part. I'm so broken right now because I wasn't doing this. I wasn't covering this story just to be covering it. I was passionate about it. And to hear what I heard today, it blew me. And I believe the prosecution moved the way it moved because they failed. They dropped the ball. They messed up. And by getting Jarvis to take that plea deal, that's also them covering up what they messed up. That plea deal is saying a lot. It's speaking real loud. And I know everybody's emotions are high right now. But you have to pay attention to the small things. You really do. Detroit is trying to cover Detroit's behind because they failed in this case big time. Jarvis took that plea deal because Jarvis is covering up for somebody and is bigger than Shannon. You better believe it. It's bigger than Shannon. Because it goes back to what I said before. Who willingly turns themselves in on a pow charge just to know that they're going to get locked up on a bigger charge and face this kind of time? Something is wrong. And then you're going to give this man a plea deal with conditions. Conditions. I hope Shannon is not sitting in a space right now thinking she's safe. She's not. That plea deal ain't saving Shannon. Just like we're out here every night seeking justice for Naziah, staying up, having sleepless nights since all of this has taken place. Don't ever believe prosecution, defense, Jarvis himself. Don't ever believe that they were not in tune to what was happening on YouTube. YouTube, I have to speak what's in my heart. YouTube derailed this case as well. In a bad way. A lot of things Jarvis Butts may have not known, but he found it out through YouTube. Hell, a lot of things the prosecution may have not known, they found out through YouTube. Which is sad, because justice for Naziah is what we all wanted. I would love to hope. This case got derailed in the worst kind of way. There are bigger entities involved in this. And it's a shame. The prosecution saw things on social media that they would have never imagined, and they probably left their mouths wide open. And this decision was made swiftly. Him accepting that plea deal. And the reason I said it was made swiftly, because if Detroit was moving right, and if Detroit was moving by the books, all the witnesses that they had lined up, potential witnesses, the victims, don't you all think the victims should have been informed prior to them going public that Jarvis took a plea deal? I mean, that was the proper protocol. Kim Worthless ain't shit. Her hands are all in this. The witnesses were not made aware, and they should have been the first to know that Jarvis accepted a plea deal. And from what I saw on the paperwork, that plea deal was signed and sealed on the 9th of February, just a couple of days ago. It went to court today to solidify it. Now, what hurts even more, Jarvis Butts gets a plea deal with conditions. Conditions. I'm confused about the conditions, and maybe y'all could help me out, because I don't believe it has nothing to do with being in contact with the victims, because Annette is not a victim and nor is Shannon. One of Jarvis' conditions was no contact with Annette and her family. Why not? Shit. In my book, Annette was Jarvis' supplier. And I wonder, I really truly wonder, because my mind has been racing ever since this started. If one of his conditions is no contact with Annette, why would it say Annette and Naziah's family? Why did it say no contact with Shannon? Why? Something is telling me, something is truly telling me, While Jarvis has been locked up for the last year and a half, almost 2 years, something is telling me Annette has had contact with Jarvis since he's been in jail. Something is telling me conversations have been heard, overheard. And by Jarvis accepting that plea and then them telling Jarvis that he has to be truthful in telling them exactly where Nazaya's body is, I truly believe with everything that's in me, they do not want Jarvis contacting Annette. They don't want Annette contacting Jarvis. They don't want that communication because they don't want Annette having a say in Jarvis saying exactly where Nazaya is. That's what I feel. Annette has been in touch with Jarvis. I don't give a damn what nobody says. And that condition to me, I don't know how nobody else sees it. That condition to me means stay away from Annette. Stay away from Shannon because we done heard y'all phone calls on the back end. You stay away from these people because we don't need these people telling you what to say and what not to say, how to fix it and how to dress it up for them. That's what I believe. Annette is the lowest of the low. And Shannon is right behind her. But it ain't over. It ain't over. I've always said to you all, I didn't care how this thing panned out. I said Jarvis was going to get jail time. They was going to sweep it under the rug. They was going to sentence him. I said that. But will Jarvis spend the amount of time that they gave him? No. No. Jarvis is going to walk. Jarvis is going to walk. Thanks to Shannon. Thanks to Annette. Thanks to social media. Jarvis is going to walk. Then when the condition of Jarvis has to provide truthful statement of where Nazaya's body is. Detroit can't be that dumb. They just can't. They just cannot. Jarvis has been sitting there 2 years, and if he ain't saying nothing in 2 years, what make them think he's gonna say anything now? Jarvis is considered a habitual offender for the 4th time. All the charges are the same. All of them. That's a 25-year sentence by itself. Did Nazaya deserve this? No, she didn't. No, she did not. Shannon and Annette. You've done things like this and gotten away with it for so long. This time you still believe you're going to walk away untouched. Y'all have missing bodies to answer for. Nazaya's is one of them. Anitra Harris is another one. Because right now I'm angry. Because I don't understand how one nasty family can keep doing this to children. And the city of Detroit keeps letting them get away with it with a pat on the back. Like it's okay. Not only, absolutely, Wanda, thank you for saying that. Not only Anitra Harris. Where's the mother of those 2 kids that Shannon has? Where is the mother of those 2 kids that don't belong to Shannon, but they do belong to Jarvis? I have a problem. Because Jarvis pled guilty, that is not justice, y'all. It is not justice. Imoka's opinion is straight containment. I fought Nazaya's family. I fought her family, immediate and extended alike, because 1 thing's for certain and 2 things for sure. Nazaya didn't deserve it. And if you loved her like y'all come on social media fighting everybody that you loved her so much, you would have fought harder. You would have fought harder. And what we witnessed today would have never happened. So y'all all could miss me with that shit. Beating your gums on social media, ready to fight the goddamn world. Because all you nasty hoes failed that baby. All of you. Jarvis knew exactly what he was doing when he accepted that plea deal. Whew, Lord. Because what bothers me more than anything, how is it that they can have these people out here searching for Nazaya in 2024 and come back with no evidence? And then months later, y'all come up with evidence, and then y'all say it's so clean and it's untouched. It's not raggedy, it's not torn. Y'all describe it as being fresh. Got a problem with all of that. Had Jarvis gone, see Jarvis is playing a little chess. I must say he is. He's being very strategic. And y'all could come back years later and say, Mocha did say that. Jarvis knows that the time that he's given, he will not stay there. If Jarvis would have gone to trial, we would have heard about the cell phones, the tablets, We'd have got that the border patrol. That's who so say found nothing. We'd have heard from them. We'd have heard the forensic breakdown of those clothes. We'd have heard about the allegations from all his victims. Now we don't get to hear that. We don't get to hear that. Chad, do y'all believe? Y'all gotta talk to me tonight, because baby, God give me strength. Do y'all believe this plea was about limiting what could have been, would have been exposed? Or do y'all believe Jarvis chose that plea deal to secure the prison time? Because by securing that prison time, he knows that the time that's given ain't the time he's going to serve. Because Jarvis is scheduled for sentencing on March 12th. I'm just curious. Six cases. That's what I believe as he was securing his prison time. That's exactly what I believe. I mean, this man, 6 cases, not one, 6. It wasn't just the REDRUM. That case has layers, which should have made this trial very dangerous. Should have made this trial very, very dangerous with the layers that were stacked up against Jarvis. Because one thing I know about going to a trial, it don't just prove guilt, it exposes everything and everybody. How do you sit up there and plead guilty with a sentence agreement? And all that sentence agreement basically is saying is, hey, I ain't dealing the dice with no jury. I ain't rolling the dice with no judge. I done already negotiated behind the scenes. I know the prosecution is dirty. I know they don't play fair. I done dealt with them in the past. They don't have no substantial evidence on me. They don't have a solid case on me. Jarvis Butts knew these people didn't have a solid case on him. I'm going to tell y'all. I'm going to tell y'all what put him in a position that he's in. I'm going to tell y'all what put him in a position to accept that plea deal. Because in all honesty, if we look at what they had, what they presented, they didn't have nothing concrete. They didn't have nothing solid on Jarvis, right? What was going to hang Jarvis Butts the most? Because remember, he sat there 2 years, never admitted to nothing and never owned up to nothing. What was going to hang Jarvis Butts? Jarvis was a habitual offender. 4th time habitual offender with the same charges. And that could have left him sitting there the rest of his natural life. That's what would have hung him. Because let me tell you something, everybody's focused on that witness list. Let's back up on that. There's no goddamn way. You believe, I believe, there's no goddamn way there was 80 plus witnesses. What they was going to talk about? Who were the 80 witnesses? That's no. No. It was the fact that he was a habitual offender. 4th time, all the same charges. And that was going to hang him. He didn't want to face that. So he rather roll the dice. Why would Jarvis take this shit to trial? You got to think like a criminal sometimes. If I take it to trial, we got 12 jurors. It only takes one. It only takes one to call him a monster. So why would he risk that? That commercial activity was those videos, the pictures, whatever he had in his phone. That's what that was. Of these young children. And that takes me somewhere else. Y'all sit tight on that commercial activity. Sit tight on no, don't sit tight on it. Since it's fresh, let's talk about it. Because I got it all night. I slept. Let's talk about the commercial activity. If they could charge Jarvis, that was one of the charges. Absolutely. Absolutely. So y'all think commercial activity. I just want y'all to think commercial activity. Keep thinking commercial activity. Think back to everything that we done uncovered, everything that we done witnessed, and how we saw today play out. And not only how we saw today play out, but the one thing I want y'all to tie in with the commercial activity. Let's line up commercial activity. Let's line up Jarvis being given a plea deal with stipulations. And add that one stipulation in there. No contact with the net. Y'all follow where I'm going with that? And then add this one to it. Jarvis gave no specific location. Jarvis just said, I threw her body in Rouge River. 2 years she's been in Rouge River. Right now, Rouge River is frozen. 2 years she's been in Rouge River. He didn't think to say that until today. So do y'all ever think it's a possibility that, I don't care how many diving teams it send, do y'all think after 2 years, there's a possibility that Naziah is going to be found in that river? So let's go. Commercial activity. No contact with the net. I just automatically threw her in Rouge River because I know it's impossible for y'all to find her. Take it back to commercial activity. Naziah is somewhere safe. Shut your mouth, Mocha. If y'all feel what I'm putting down, and I know I may be reaching because I'm still hoping for the best. My heart is not feeling that that baby is in no damn Rouge River. I don't feel it. I have never felt from day one. So why would he sit on this for as long as he's been sitting on this and then just all of a sudden throw it out there? She's in Rouge River. No, something is not right with this. Something is terribly wrong with the way this just redirected itself. Annette knows this. Shannon knows this. And if Annette and Shannon really love Naziah, let's call it for what it is. If Annette and Shannon really love Naziah, Neither one of them would have been sitting there, black asses there, as quiet as the fuck as they have been since this shit started. They would have been shaking heaven and earth, looking for Naziah. But they just sat there. Now, Mocha, I know you done said a goddamn lot. But it goes back to what I said about Annette the other day. Jarvis Butts, not only are you slow, but you are weaker than weak. You're nasty, but you're slow. Naziah didn't get off that bus at 3 o'clock. Naziah didn't, 2:50, she didn't get off that bus. 3:05, she didn't walk through that door. 3 o'clock, Annette pulls out of her driveway in the name of going running an errand. Annette did not return home until 6 o'clock that evening or after 6 when she picked up the other children from the after school program. Naziah disappears between that time frame. The January 9th story that they want us to believe about the Ypsilanti, this, that, and the other, all those dates were fabricated and made up, and Detroit knows it. God damn it, Annette picked up Naziah. Annette picked up Naziah. Jarvis knows Annette picked up Naziah. Annette knows she picked up Naziah. That's exactly why Annette did that press conference. Y'all don't know why y'all took her. Who the hell is y'all? Who the hell is y'all, Annette? She could be in danger. Who you talking to, Annette? Now, if we're going to make sense, let's make sense of it all. Yeah, Mocha's mad right now. Because to do this shit to that child, somebody who didn't deserve it. Naziah was still a minor. Naziah couldn't think for herself. Naziah couldn't make her own decisions. She didn't decide where she went and where she didn't go. Annette, you made those decisions for her. Shannon, you made those decisions for her. Absolutely, Platt. That's exactly why they offered him that deal. That's exactly why. So y'all play with somebody else because everybody ain't stupid. Y'all never thought that was a reason? Because like I said, Annette ain't a victim and neither is Shannon. Y'all never thought that was a bigger reason why they didn't want Jarvis contacting Annette and Shannon? And they didn't say Annette and Shannon, they said Annette. So make it make sense. I bet he was, Chucky. They act like they didn't know trafficking was real. How many more children have to disappear on Annette's watch before Detroit wake the hell up? Y'all just keep sitting up there and y'all letting Detroit do y'all however the hell they want to do y'all? There's no way. Annette, neither her children would be walking around like they own shit. But yet children's lives are being destroyed one child at a time. They introduce these children to that life. Kim Worthy, you know. Y'all all know. So y'all need to make this make sense and y'all need to make it right. That extended family that ain't doing shit, that's just bumping their gums, y'all need to do y'all job if y'all really love her. Discernment is something else. And I do believe with all my heart that child is not in Rouge River. She's not there. Because the item of clothing that y'all so claim found there, why would they be fresh? Why would they be fresh? Then on top of all of that, on top of all of what went on with Jarvis Butts in court, some charges got dismissed. That don't mean he's innocent of the charges that was dropped now. See how crooked Detroit is? That didn't mean he was innocent of the dropped charges. All it meant was they didn't need to prove those charges anymore. So if you didn't have to prove those charges anymore, why would you re-traumatize the victims? Why would you put those other victims through that if you didn't need to prove those charges anymore? No. And it happened that way because Detroit felt like they got what they wanted. They got a conviction with a guaranteed range. That's crazy. This shit would have went to trial. You'd have found out who knew what, who saw what, who ignored what, who lied, who helped after the fact, and all that lines up with the Ned and Shannon. But that plea deal closed the door on that. That plea deal closed the door on that. And the fact that Jarvis took a plea deal just under 2 weeks before going to trial. This ain't a damn Disney movie, y'all. Absolutely, Platt, I want to know too. Who them children Shannon has? That's not hers. This ain't no damn Disney movie. This is real life with real children at stake. And just listen. Please don't misunderstand. A guilty plea is not the same thing as the truth. Just because he said guilty, it don't mean that's the truth. Sometimes it means I'm going to take this time. I'm going to take this time. Just because I don't want to sit here and listen to all them people talk or you know, whatever he came up with, don't mean that that's his truth. They negotiated with him. And for the defense, it was their way of controlling it. And that's the part that pissed me off. And I know it's pissing you off too. Is that we was about to get exposure. We were about to see who was lying under oath. We already know Shannon and Annette lied. We was about to hear these timelines get laid the fuck out. And they couldn't dodge them if they tried. And we was about to see who was going to answer these damn questions that they had been avoiding for 2 damn years. But the courtroom just told us all to get the fuck on. Y'all go on and hush now. We gonna handle this behind the scenes. Ain't that fucked up? I don't like behind the curtain justice. I don't like that type of justice. Because you see that behind the curtain justice is where the public don't know shit. Behind the curtain justice is not justice. That's where the system starts protecting themselves. Detroit is protecting Detroit by working behind the scenes. And that's where people like Shannon and Annette, who should have been exposed, they stay comfortable. They stay doing the shit that they're doing, hurting children. So yeah, 35 to 60 is a lot of time. But the question is, what did it cost to get it? What exactly did they trade and what did we lose? Right now, they're sitting there as they're exhaling because they think they're free. They're sitting there as they're like, oh, this ain't no trial. We ain't going to trial, so we ain't got no worries. Bitch, y'all lie. Y'all lie. Y'all going to trial. Might not be sitting there with Jarvis Butts, but y'all day is coming. That's sad. But I believe one thing and one thing only. Jarvis accepting that plea just set Shannon big ass up for them to come for her. She ain't safe. She ain't safe. You sit on that stand and lie. Just straight up lie. And Shannon, it ain't over. Same thing for you, Annette. I see y'all busy in this chat. Let me grab some of these comments, baby, because y'all rolling up in here. I didn't mean to just run on and on and on like that, but y'all, my emotions have been all over the place. All over the place. And my apologies, because I didn't welcome nobody to the chat tonight. I just went there. Welcome, guys. I appreciate you all pulling up on me tonight. Forever Gorgeous says he don't want to go to prison because he won't stand a chance in there. It's deeper than that, y'all. Shell Baby said he chose this plea deal so he wouldn't do life for all those victims that was going to testify. This was the best deal for him, to be able to have life sooner or later outside of prison. Absolutely, Jennifer. Prison is so much different than jail. My girl, Dr. JD, I see you, sis. Miss Shawnee B, hey, Miss Shawnee, hey, boo. Thank you for pulling up. Leanne, what you say? You wonder what's included in the deal? Girl, 35 to 60. And they don't want him contacting Shannon and Annette. And he has to tell where Nazaya, he has to truthfully tell where Nazaya's body is. Girl, let me highlight that because I love that. See that commercial? I'm glad you brought that up because that took me right back to where Nazaya is. And I believe that. I believe that. How many of you all believe? And I have to ask this question. How many of y'all believe the commercial activity charge leads us to trafficking? How many of y'all believe that? Because you don't just sweep every goddamn thing under the rug like we slow and we don't see what's going on. Because that charge mattered. So how could that charge be here today and gone tomorrow because you don't want nobody to talk about it? That's a sure sign of trafficking, y'all. That's a sure sign of trafficking. This is crazy work. I can't believe this. Kim says, I hope the judge can overturn his plea. I hope she feels Nazaya needs justice. Let me tell you something. This is not over till the fat lady sings. Do y'all think the judge that's overlooking this situation right now, do y'all really believe that judge is going to although Judge Sibri is not on this case, do y'all think that judge is going to overlook how she felt at the end of the preliminary? That lady clearly said, Annette Harris, Shannon Harris, I found no credibility in your testimonies. You hoes failed Naziah terribly. That's the most truest statement I ever heard. How many of y'all think that the judge that's on the case right now is overlooking what this lady said? That part right there is what's going to come back to bite Shannon and Annette in the nappy wigs. That's the part that's going to get them. And I believe that. I really do believe that. Yes, Lord, Dr. J.D., child trafficking ring. Jennifer says, he was pimping them girls. I've been saying it since the beginning. Yes, ma'am. Essie, I understand, Essie. Yes, ma'am. Ms. Antoinette said, we feel the same way, Mocha. We understand. Yes, Lord. We've been riding this together, y'all. Now, Keisha, I see you, boo. Absolutely, Miss Sean. He was benefiting of these girls. Absolutely. And the thing is, Detroit, how you wait all these years to now demand her location? So what were y'all doing all of this time? He just been sitting there getting 3 hots in a cot, getting fat, and having sex in prison, in jail. Getting haircuts, looking better than the people that's out there in the streets. He got a woman around the clock in jail. Shannon, Marquita, Annette, they all putting money on his books to keep him happy. What? Platt said, so the next court date, absolutely, Platt. Platt said next court date, victim impact statements happen. Final sentence is decided. The plea deal becomes official and locked in. That plea deal only becomes official, according to them, if he gives them what they want. And that's the truthful. How the hell you could tell a criminal to be truthful to you? See, they're trying to play a word semantics with people like me. How, since when a criminal is going to be truthful? Jarvis ain't worried about the time that y'all gave him, because Jarvis know within a matter of time he is going to walk. Jarvis won't see 20 years. Jarvis will be out there before you know it. And I told y'all that once before. Jarvis is going to slip out of the system. And Jarvis people that's on the outside protecting him as well, they're going to get Jarvis is going to move around. He can't stay in Detroit no more. He is going to move around. And that's a fact. We could put all our feelings in this all we want. We could just keep mimicking what we hear people say and shit like that. But we have to take what we see. To hell with what you hear. Take what you see. Use your discernment, not somebody else's discernment. Use yours. And apply common sense with it. And make sense of this. And stop letting people feed you bullshit. Because right is right, Wrong is wrong. Common sense is free. God gave it all to us. Can't nobody tell me what to say, think, feel, nor do when I'm looking at it right in front of my damn face. And Annette and Shannon don't get a pass. Platt said if Nazaria is going to be in that courtroom and Jarvis don't know, they had to get a conviction. Platt is wicked. Is truly wicked. And that could be why they offered him that deal. And I know everybody's excited. Everybody, you know, a lot of y'all are excited that Jarvis took the plea deal and got that much time. Because one thing we know, Michigan don't offer the death penalty. So y'all are happy about that. I get it. I get it. But that same anger and that same rage that you have for Jarvis Butts, we can't be selective in who we want to be angry and mad with. Because first, we got to understand Jarvis could have never had access to Naziah, Janiah, the little boy, none of them, without Shannon and Annette. It starts with them. It starts with them. So I'm not worried about Jarvis going to prison. I ain't worried about that. Of course, Jarvis is a monster, right? But we got to get to the real monsters because we got to get to the root. And the root is Shannon and Annette. These people got history. They got history. And it's a shame that Naziah had to pay the price. Jarvis, slow ass, got caught up because he had an urge that couldn't, no child, no grown woman, nobody ever itch. They couldn't scratch that urge and fix it. He was going to be nasty the rest of his life. But I'm glad he's laying down. And I'm glad they decided to do what they did with him. But you got to get to the root of the problem. And the root of the problem is Shannon and Annette. And if we want to be truthful, we need to be truthful with ourselves first. I don't pick sides. I live on the side of righteousness and truth. And whatever it takes to save these children, I'm going to call it out. I don't give a damn if it was her mama, her great grandmama. I don't give a damn if you did a child wrong. You did a child wrong. Annette is ridiculous. And then it speaks volumes when Jarvis' condition says, don't contact Annette. Why not? Why not contact Annette? What is it that Annette is feeding Jarvis? What is it that y'all afraid of that Annette may hinder Jarvis telling y'all where Naziah really is? Is it possible? Let's backtrack, y'all. Is it possible? Is it possible that Jarvis could say, I threw it in Rouge River because he was the cleanup man? Is that possible? Is it possible? Because remember, let's not forget. Let's not forget. Marquita man said on my platform, that man said it was going down at Annette's house that night with Shannon, Annette, and Naziah. Said they called Marquita. He said Marquita left the house in a hurry to get over there. So what did they do to Naziah that night? That's what he said. Don't take my word for it. Go find a video where he said it. So whatever happened to Naziah that night in the next home, Jarvis was the cleanup man. Let's talk about it. See, I don't run from the truth. I don't run from the fucking truth. And I'm not going to sit up here and cover up a lie, and I'm not going to stretch a lie to make Mocha look good, because I don't need a lie to make me look good. But that family, y'all could have said something, done something long time ago. But y'all everything that I've heard on these platforms, y'all heard it too. So y'all need to start dotting all your I's and crossing all your T's. Hey, sis, thank you, boo. Y'all need to start dotting all your I's and crossing all your T's. Because what y'all think we forgot, no, we didn't forget. And that's why I say Detroit is reckless. Detroit is reckless. And then you want to sit up there and you pick and choose who you protect. Why are you protecting Annette? Why are you protecting Shannon? And throwing all these children away? Y'all knew this was bullshit from day one. The minute Naziah went missing, Shannon took to social media, her and Marquita, and they had 1,002 stories to tell. Do y'all remember all the scenarios? Do y'all remember all the people that they tried to implicate? I didn't forget that. And because I didn't forget it, I want to tell you all something. What they came out here and done in that moment, that still matters today. Thank you, Dorothy Ann. Dorothy Ann said the whole system is trying to cover it up. Black Peace and Gate for the government in Michigan State been doing this a lot. Love you too, Dorothy Ann. Thank you, baby. 2 years. And this is what you're doing. Thank you, Wendy. I don't forget. So we go back to Jarvis accepting his plea. They can't prove. They could not prove, y'all. The state had no concrete evidence, no proof that Jarvis did a damn thing to Naziah. That's it and that's all. We have to accept that fact if we want to be truthful. All those other charges on Jarvis, provable. They had that. Naziah, they had nothing. But they needed a conviction. They needed Jarvis. Jarvis was a menace on the streets of Michigan. They had to get him. So now I'm going to tell you, you are a 4-time habitual offender. We got to put you away. And what better way to put you away than tie you to Naziah? Because Shannon and Annette said so. Think about it. Think about it. Something is terribly wrong. Something is wrong. Chucky said Annette showed up with the police at the court hearing. Chucky, Annette did not go to the court today. Annette was not there. She was not there. She was not there. You see, and that's one thing I tell you all that I do, right? I don't fabricate. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna make up shit, and I'm not gonna say it's true if I don't know it to be true. But one thing I do know, family members have not been to Jarvis hearings. So ain't no Annette was there with no police. You got to be careful how you take what you hear and run with that. Because I don't spread lies on my platform. That's not who I am. That's not how I'm built. So I could get that one out the way. Annette scared to go outside. So what make you think Annette was going to court? You got to use common sense. Oh, no, Kim says Annette, Shannon, and Marquita needs to be held accountable for the essay they experienced. They also need to be held accountable for those 2 kids' mothers that are missing. Something needs to happen to Kim. Absolutely. There's a pattern with these people. A horrible pattern. An ugly pattern. This is crazy. JJ, I see you. Boo Big M, I see you. Jarvis admitted dumping Nazaya's body on Rouge River. So, if you dump the body, because they did say that Jarvis ain't crazy. Y'all remember I told y'all, everybody was laughing. Jarvis in court drawing stick men. No, he wasn't. Jarvis was taking notes. He was taking notes. Right? Everything that they pinpoint out about Jarvis and his movement in that preliminary, Jarvis was writing it down. They said Jarvis' phone pinged around 7 Mile and Berg near Rouge River. And they said his phone pinged there the day after Nazaya's disappearance. Y'all don't think Jarvis wrote that down? Y'all don't think Jarvis wrote that down? That was strategic. Jarvis wrote that down and threw it right back at him today. Make it make sense. Jarvis said he dumped her body in Rouge River. Why y'all think Jarvis said that? Jarvis said that because they told Jarvis his phone pinged in that area. They came up with some fresh clothes from that area that Jarvis knew was planted there because they found the clothes after Jarvis had already been locked up. Y'all see where I'm going with that? The clothes were found after Jarvis was already locked up. The clothes were fresh. You got to think like a criminal. Jarvis taking notes. Jarvis is taking notes. So everything that they're charging Jarvis with, right? They said your phone pinged near there. They found clothes near there. So Jarvis says, okay, I'm going to give you what you want. Her body is over there. Go find it. And that's where we are. That's where we are. I told y'all this criminal is playing chess. So then y'all going to put in one of his conditions is that word that stands out. You have to truthfully tell us where she is. What? 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 How do you expect a criminal to truthfully tell you where she is? Because to dump that body in that river, right? Because I don't give a damn what nobody says, and ain't nobody going to make Mocha change her mind on what she's felt from day one. Jarvis couldn't stand Shannon. Let's get that out the way. And the reason I say he couldn't stand Shannon, because he had too many other women. Shannon was just a place of convenience. Somebody that he could have laid and played with him when he ain't had no money, because all these other slow other women, they required money. Even Isaiah asked him for money. Let's get that out the way. Shannon was just a bucket. Jarvis. I still don't believe. Now, if I'm wrong, I got a chat room full of people here. Y'all, please hit the like button for your girl. I don't ask for much, but please just grace me with that. And I appreciate it. Jarvis had a history. Jarvis had a history, right? We knew Jarvis enjoyed playing with underage girls. Several of them had babies by Jarvis. We're going to own that one. Jarvis made babies with all the women that he laid with, all the little children he laid with, those that was able to conceive. So with all the children Jarvis has, the biggest question is this, y'all. And again, like I said, we all adults in here, and we have to make this shit make sense. Why the hell would it bother Jarvis to unalive Naziah because she was pregnant by him and he had babies with all these other little girls and didn't unalive them? Let's make it make sense. Why Naziah? Why would he choose Naziah to do this too? Because based on the text messages that I really don't believe came from Naziah, not all of them anyway, based on those text messages, it didn't look like they didn't get along that way. So why would he unalive her just because she was with child and didn't unalive the rest? So I'm going to take you back to what I said previously. Marquita's man said that it went down in Annette's house that night between Shannon, Annette, and Naziah. They called Marquita to come to the rescue. And whatever else happened to Naziah in that house happened to Naziah. They couldn't handle the end results of what happened to Naziah in that house. And they called Jarvis Butts to clean it up. Because he's a criminal. They're criminals too. But they called Jarvis Butts to clean it up. And who is more wide open to take that charge other than a criminal? Who? Please tell me. Kamisha, my girl, says, my thing is, why stand your bad wig? Girl, shut up. Kamisha says, my thing is, why stand your bag wig wearing ass up there on national TV and say bring her back? She could be in danger as if she ran away. Kamisha, Kamisha, let's talk about it, boo. Let's talk about it. I may not have all the sense in the world, but I got a lot of common sense. Kamisha says, my thing is, why stand your bag wig wearing ass up there on national TV, Annette, and say bring her back? She could be in danger as if she ran away. Let's rewind it, because they all need to be locked up. All of them. All of them. I'm going to say it again for the slow ones in the back. No disrespect to being slow, but God damn it, you got to make it make sense. Naziah gets off the bus at 2:50. That's what they said. Because let me just first say that January 9th bullshit, I don't buy it. That's my thoughts, mine alone. Y'all don't have to agree. Let's paint this picture, right? And I want y'all input. If you don't agree, please tell me you don't agree, and we could talk about it. Naziah supposedly gets off the bus at 2:50. By 3:05, she's walking in Annette's house. Shannon had already testified that she was there all day, just her and her two babies by themselves, and her mama. So conveniently at 3 o'clock, Annette leaves the house in the name of, I got an errand to run. Now, if Annette leaves the house at 3 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if Annette leaves our house at 3 o'clock, do you all not believe Annette should have ran into Naziah getting off that bus at 3:05? I mean, because Naziah get off the bus at 2:50. Annette leaves our house at 3 o'clock. Don't y'all believe that Annette should have ran into Naziah on her way to wherever she was going? Make it make sense, America. I'm not a dummy. So since Annette claimed she was running an errand, bitch, you should have ran into Naziah at that time. You really should have. Since she didn't walk in the door at 3:05. Love you more, Dr. JD. Thank you, boo. You didn't run into Naziah. At least you should have. So I'm going to take it back to what I've always said. Annette picked up Naziah. Annette picked up Naziah, y'all. Y'all don't have to agree, but that's what I feel. Then Annette comes back home after 6 o'clock. She comes back home after 6 o'clock in the name of, I stayed gone so I could pick up the children from the after school program. This is where the lie really gets good. Shannon said on the witness stand, Shannon says, my mom sent the kids to ask me, did Naziah come home? That was Shannon's testimony. Shannon says, my mom pulled in the driveway after 6 o'clock, sent those children to the door to see if Naziah was home. Wasn't that strange? Because if Nazaria was supposed to be home at 3 o'clock, why would you stay sitting in the car and send children to knock on the door to ask if Nazaria was home? That's the first thing. Then Annette get our raggedy ass on the stand. And Annette says this. I picked up my kids from after school program. And I went in the house and asked my daughter, did Nazaria come home? Now, both of those things cannot be true. Either Annette went spoke to Shannon directly like she said, or the two children went asked like Shannon said. It's the lies for me. It's the lies for me, y'all, and we gotta make it make sense. We can't pick and choose what we want to argue out here. Annette should be charged. Shannon should be charged. They all should be charged. Lock the whole damn family up, and while you're locking it up, man, throw Detroit away too, because this shit ain't right. It ain't right. Platt said them goddamn family members spent more energy fighting strangers on YouTube than they ever did fighting for their own family member. Absolutely. Sakina, I see you, my love. Whit, I see you. Whit said at this point, throw the whole damn system away. Facts. Facts. Nazaria is a name. My girl Marty is up in here. Marty says no contact with Annette and Shannon. Marty said that's a fucking joke. The biggest hypocritical joke of the 21st century. Shannon put money on his books from day one. Corrupt. Marty, corruption, boo, at its finest. And we looking at it in living color. And a child had to pay the price. Child had to pay the price. This is insane. Strong survive, I see you, boo. Rashina says Detroit whole judicial system is a fucking joke. They fucked the case and just want a conviction. They crooked as a number 5. It's no justice for Nazaria or the other victims. Absolutely. Absolutely. Girl, tell your husband the system ain't shit. Tell your husband the system ain't shit. That's the most raggediest family I ever seen or heard of in my entire existence. And y'all right. They never searched that house. Now Keisha said, Mocha, remember what he did to my mom when she was 13? He's a monster, girl. He is an absolute monster. We know Shannon was jealous of Nazaria. They all played a part in her going missing. Absolutely. Dorothy Ann, sister, that part right there. He didn't do it. All he did was went cover it up. He was the cleanup man. We gotta call it for what it is. You ain't gonna piss on my leg, bitch, and tell me it's raining. I'll be fucked. That ain't how this work, Detroit. Cause right now Mocha's mad. Cause you don't do this shit to children. You just don't. Shannon and Annette got lie after lie after lie slapping you in your face, but all you know is you want a conviction at any damn cost. It ain't taxpayers' fault. It ain't America's fault that y'all allowed Jarvis Butts to roam these streets free when y'all should have locked his ass up long time ago, because y'all got records. Y'all got a history of him abusing children. But y'all let him walk. Y'all let him slip through the cracks. That is not our fault, and it shouldn't have been Nazaya's fault either. But y'all making Nazaya pay the price for what the fuck y'all didn't do, Detroit. I got a problem with that. I got a problem with that. Absolutely, Kiana. That's why he said he dumped that body. That's why he said he dumped it. He took notes. He threw right back in their face what they threw in his. You can't beat a criminal at their own game. Y'all over there in the courtroom playing by the books, and he playing by the streets. Make it make sense. And I said it and I'll say it again. I'll say it and I'll say it again. Jarvis Butts didn't hurt Nazaya. He's covering up right now. And it's all going to eventually come out. It's going to come out. Miss Antoinette said that's what Shannon thought. She thought she got away with hurting Nazaya. She sure did. Island girl, I see you, boo. Strong Survive said, I despise all those grown evil motherfuckers. They all played their role and had plenty of cleanup time to establish it in time. Girl, that part. But you know what's really sad about that? Not only did they have time to establish a motive and their little narratives, not only did they have time, but the sad part about it, Detroit was included in it. DPD, DPS, the school, Kim Worthy. Make it make sense. How do you get all these people to agree to all this wrong shit? Corruption. I've never seen such. Never seen it like this in all my natural years of living, Lord. And they think Jarvis dumb. Mm-mm. They think they playing him and he playing them. Dr. JD says going out the door. Her name is Nazaya Harris. No peace, no peace, Detroit. Child trafficking, where is Nazaya? Boom, there it is. Shawnee says, and Mocha, if Annette left, how could she have known that Nazaya wasn't home to send the kids to ask? I smell bullshit a mile away, and that's what it is. Bullshit. Bullshit. Absolutely, y'all. Ned and Shannon needs to be charged. Miss Antoinette said Nazaya didn't run away. Keep in mind, Nazaya told Jarvis that hold up, Miss Antoinette. Ding, ding. Ding, ding. For the slow people in the back, ding, ding. Miss Antoinette, girl, you remember that? Nazaya said she didn't want to be with them funky people no more. Nazaya said she didn't want to be with them nasty people anymore. They were disgusting. She didn't want to be with them. They mistreated her. She said she was ready to run away and live with Jarvis Butts. Does that sound like that right there? That right there is Antoinette. That right there goes back to that commercial charge. Is Antoinette, we gonna keep hope alive. Mm-hmm. Keep saying y'all ain't go piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. Rock, Lady D, I'm with y'all. They definitely don't deserve to go on with their lives. Absolutely, Michonne. Annette being gone away from the house all them hours. Never called Shannon on a phone. Never went back with 3 hours. Never went back. But you go just sit in the house to ask if Naziah was home. Why in that moment would you go back in the house and ask if Naziah was home? That's suspect, boo. We all ain't dumb. Ocean waves, I see you, boo. And what these people think we crazy, we ain't crazy. They're sleeping on Annette. Annette is the mastermind. Shannon carries it out, and Marquita is the bouncer. They need to do something with that family because I predict in a few more years, somebody else will come up missing. The world need to find that to be strange. Annette's sons have children. Her own son's children don't visit Annette. Annette has nieces and nephews. Their children don't visit Annette. These people are trying to protect their families from Annette. And nobody recognized that. This is sickening. Isaiah TV, I see you, boo. Lisa Wilson, welcome, my love. Anita, I see you. She said, where are the cars at? They got rid of Shannon and Annette. Hey, Anita, nothing but evidence in those cars. Nothing but evidence in those cars. But they call us crazy. You mean to tell me the great investigators, detectives of Detroit, y'all let Annette move 2-3 different times since the disappearance of Naziah. Y'all let Annette and Shannon trade vehicles. Y'all let Shannon trade cell phones, get new phones. Y'all let all this bullshit pass. So how is it that a child comes up missing that you're supposed to be responsible for? Living under your roof. She comes up missing and y'all nasty asses ain't the prime suspects. Y'all don't get questioned. Y'all don't get checked. Nothing happens with y'all. And that's what Detroit want the people to accept. That's bullshit. Marty said Harris Gamble, inbred clan. Allegedly, they all on the FBI SA offender watch list. Not just Eric Gamble, all the women of that clan on all their watch lists. Naziah seen at the shop in Ypsilanti. Whoa, child. Murray P said, Mocha, my husband said they ain't gonna never be shit. And they're gonna reap what they sow when it comes to God's children. Absolutely. This ain't over. There's 2 justices that's gonna handle Shannon and Annette. So y'all bitches may as well get ready. Marquita ain't that much being a big back bouncer in the world, boo. You can't fight it all. Street justice and God's justice. Y'all go get it. It ain't over. It ain't that much ducking and hiding y'all big backs, long necks could do. So Annette, you might want to trade in your wig, boo, and get a new disguise because your wrath is coming. It's coming. Kiana says, I don't believe he did it either. I believe his plea is a chess move. Him taking that plea was canceling. Shut your mouth and keep on talking, ma'am. I ain't got there yet, but you took me there. Hey, and that's just what he did. If Shannon had immunity, because I done heard that twice, and if I'm not mistaken, I was listening to Toot a little earlier, and I heard Debo say that. Debo said that the prosecutor said, or the defense, whichever one, I don't want to lie, said that Shannon had immunity. So guess what? Jarvis ain't your average bear. Jarvis took that plea deal and he canceled Shannon's immunity. Y'all gonna make it make sense. So Shannon, I told you wasn't safe. I told you that. 2 weeks before the trial date was supposed to start, Jarvis spit on you. You thought you hadn't gave him up. So you play with him and he's playing right back with you. So if he's going to sit, or if he's going to lay there with 3 hots in a cot, Shannon, he just canceled your immunity and you about to lay there with them 3 hots in a cot too. You think you skinny as a road horse right now? You're going to be all head before it's all over. You know, because the life that you live, the way you grew up, the way you were trained, Annette taught you how to touch girls. Take from little girls what wasn't yours. Violate them in the worst kind of way. Well, Shannon, you're about to reap what you sow. Gloria, I see you, boo. Gloria said when it comes to children, there should never be any kind of plea deal. That's chess. Kim said it locked up and charged Jarvis for essaying them kids. So why is Shannon and Marquita not getting the same justice for allowing them kids to get essayed? Make it make sense. See, we all have the same anger. Rashina said Jarvis beat them at their own damn game. The state didn't have a case. The state did not have a case. And Jarvis knew. Jarvis knew the state didn't have a case. Jarvis was not writing chicken scratch on that notepad just to be writing chicken scratch on that notepad. Everybody worried about a mask. Jarvis wasn't worried about why y'all worried about it, why he had a mask on. Jarvis went in there to do a job, and he did it. He did it. Is Jarvis worried about this plea deal that they gave him? I don't think he is. Because he knows some more is going to come out of it. Ocean Wave says he knew that she was not alive long time ago, and so did the rest of the family. D, my sister, I had a strong feeling we always going to be disappointed with this case. I'm not disappointed. I'm not disappointed. I'm disappointed. I'll tell you what I'm disappointed about. When the news first broke, I was weak, I swear. I couldn't move. I cried, I boo-hooed, I cried, I boo-hooed. Then I had to think about it. All the shit I've been saying from day one, and put all this shit in perspective and make it make sense from a logical point of view, from a common sense point of view, not from wishing and wanting and hoping, but you have to put perspective where perspective goes. And the only way this shit is going to make sense is if you be real with yourself and be real with what you see and not what you hear. Strong Survive said, I realized how sick they were when they were upset that people all over the world showed that baby more love than her own flesh and blood, who hated her, neglected this own show. That's right. They envied that child for real. Girl, the case is not over. Annette and Shannon could still get it. They could still get it. Hey, this dinner pot. As soon as they stop putting money on his books and start to forget about him, he gonna tell everything. He telling no. He wanna save his life. He tell it. Levesque says, Mocha, there is hope, because Shannon and Annette can be indicted and charged with REDRUM for the same case. Tanya, I see you, boo. Y'all, this ain't over. This is not over. This is not over. Syed said, you adopted her from a crackhead mama to treat her like nothing. Annette was supposed to protect her. I blame Annette. She probably will still be alive if she was with her mother. I believe that too. She probably would have been dirty and dragging the streets, but she would still be here. Nobody in my book gets a pass. Nobody. Nobody. Annette and Shannon, Marquita, y'all were aware of the harm that was being done to this child. We're not going to overlook that. And Nazaya's mama, I fault her as well. You went through the abuse, ma'am. Annette did you dirty. You lived it. So why put your child back in that same damn environment that ruined you and got you living the way you living and looking the way you looking? Quilla crazy. Quilla said, as soon as I heard this news, I came straight to your channel. I knew my girl was going to talk her shit and was. Hey, one says, in the preliminary, Shannon said, lady visited for Christmas. Gave Nazaya a phone. Then lady found out Nazaya was pregnant and all hell broke loose. Nazaya reached out to Jarvis some type of way, who led to January 9th meetup after school. I don't believe that. January 9th is a fictional date. It's a fictional date. Let's get that out of the way. It's a fictional date. Was Nazaya with Jarvis? Yes, she was. It wasn't on that date, though. It wasn't on that date. One thing we do know, Nazaya has been gone. Let's get that out of the way. Nazaya didn't disappear in January. Nazaya's daddy ain't gone today. That man said while he and his family was out passing missing person flyers for Nazaya, they spoke to Nazaya classmates and some of the little children in the neighborhood. That man came out here and said, while speaking to those children, he asked them when was the last time any of them seen Nazaya. Children don't lie, y'all. Those children told that man it had been 3 weeks since they saw Nazaya. 3 weeks. So let's talk about the 3 weeks. And when we talk about the 3 weeks, we're gonna pull out all Annette shenanigans. Mervin said it'd been 3 weeks since any of those children seen Nazaya. So now the school is a liability because, God damn it, there was Mark and Nazaya present at the school when she wasn't even there. That's number one. We knew the red flags were there early in the game. Because what decent mama, what loyal, loving grandmother presumes that her child is a runaway and go reports it to the school? That's the first red flag. And just because she didn't come home don't necessarily mean she's a runaway. So why would you give her the runaway label? But I could answer all of you all that don't understand why she gave her the runaway label. We know that when you label a child as a runaway, there's no urgency, no need to hurry up and search, because in your mind you're thinking, or you want the world to believe they'll return tomorrow. They just had something to do. But ladies and gentlemen, this is not the first child in Annette's care that Annette reported as a runaway. Messiah, to Mocha's knowledge, there may be more I'm not certain of, but I am very certain of 3 that Annette has reported as a runaway. All the people that got something to say about Mocha, I don't lie. I have no reason to lie. I asked the family member, and it was Kowana, why the family don't do something about Annette. Why do they let this shit keep going on? That's when I found about the other child that came up missing. This was her words to me. Mocha, we have to be careful. I said, careful of what? We've had family members that went against Auntie Annette and they disappeared to never be seen again. I never heard of no shit like that in my life. So I'm saying to myself and to her, that's even more so of a fucking reason to do something with the matriarch. There's more so of a reason to do something with Annette, because she's dangerous. She don't want nobody to expose her, pull the cover from under her with what she's doing. And y'all rather children just come up missing? Y'all rather bodies just disappear under her watch and nobody says something? So here we go. 3 weeks that man said nobody had seen Naziah. Annette goes and reports Naziah as a runaway on January 10th. Take that back 3 weeks. That means Naziah was out for the Thanksgiving break. Probably went to school that first week. There was no more sightings of Naziah. Naziah been gone. Been gone. Absolutely strong survive. Vari keeps getting in legal trouble and got a new baby. But none of that family stepped up to help him, but yet they care. They love him. They really care. Marty says, Miss Antoinette, that's where they get the idea of reporting her as a runaway. Plus, that stopped the search. That stopped them from searching Annette house. That bingo. If she reported Naziah missing, first place they would have searched was that house, that basement. So when she reported her as a runaway, that halted all the search. Let's keep it all the way 100. I love my chat. I love my chat because y'all are on it just like me. They had time to clean it all up. Anita said they need to check those drywall jobs. Remember Jarvis helped her fix the walls? Jarvis and Dre. They fixed the walls, they painted. Ain't that much painting in one damn house. You sitting up there, you got locks on the refrigerator. What woman collecting all this money for these children that you done went adopted legally on paper, and you sitting your ass there and you got a chain and a lock on a refrigerator and a freezer? Yeah, but the family members, the extended family members, they accepted that like it was normal. Come on now. Ocean wave 60 years. As Antoinette said, if they think they're in the clear, they're gonna fuck around and find out what street justice is about. That part. That part. Wanda said all the missing kids' paperwork went straight to Kim Worthless, and they said nothing else about it until now. Absolutely. Marty said the crime scene was that basement. If walls could talk, what a star witness that basement would be. But it had a fire. Hello, the fire in the basement shut it all down. Shut it all down. Marty said he had a fire in the basement because Drippy Dre, a useless painter, it wasn't immunity if it was a deal. Annette took. Marty, you tickles my soul, girl, and I needed that laugh tonight. That part, sis. That part. The fact that they told Jarvis he could no longer have contact with Annette, that told the whole story if y'all paying attention. Because Annette ain't a victim. Annette ain't no victim. Shannon either. So why the hell would they say Jarvis could no longer have contact with Annette? She's not a victim, y'all. Quan, it ain't over, boo. It ain't over. Marty said in real life, no trial, no deals. But saying as green as he looking, as cabbage looking. Girl, you crazy, yeah. Kim Worthley, useless, can't save your ass now. What the fuck you motherfucking street justice wait on y'all? God damn, Marty eating them up. Absolutely wit. Jarvis playing chess to their checkers. Absolutely, sis. Rashida said, how the hell you take a habitual liar statement on where Naziah is? Make that shit make sense. Ocean waves, they all going to jail. Cynthia, I see you, my love. We'd say, why ain't nobody talking to the CPS workers that knew he was around kids? Talk to them for what? Because they closed their eyes too. They closed their eyes too. Simone said they're going to take Jarvis Butts to find out exactly where he so-called dumped her body. No, they not, Simone. Because it ain't nobody. It ain't nobody there, Simone. Jarvis playing the very game with them that they think they're playing with him. Tanya said, Mocha, when I heard Toot, I was outdone. They're going to get what they deserve. This case has been a hot damn mess from beginning to end. Anita said, did Jarvis admit to Shannon moving the body? No, we ain't heard nothing yet, girl. We got to wait. This is just the beginning. This is about to get ugly. Kiana said, I've always said it happened after the night. I truly believe he took her home. He did, girl. Anita said the school was marking her there when she wasn't. Where is their charges? That part. Telling you, everybody's hand is in this. Wanda said that she believed Naziah been gone since October. Hey, Spicy. Marty, I'm with you, boo. Marty said Jarvis knows exactly where he put Naziah. But she not there. She not there. When he took DPD, be sure your heinous dirty crimes find you out. Jarvis knows it's not over. It's not over. And when the fat lady sings, that will be the end of a net. They started searching for Nazai. Absolutely. They started searching for Nazai in February. Annette went up there on the 10th to report her missing. Then the school marked her present. This is blowing me. You understand? Cornell said it was an inside job. Hell yeah. Tanya said Annette is highly dangerous. She's been running this racket for years. I want to know what they're going to say about the 2 kids in court that been gone, and she's been gone since October. Ms. Jackson, my girl, I see you. The school, DBD, CPS, all need internal investigations from an attorney general. I said that. I said that. Hey, Doreen. Absolutely, Ms. Jackson. I don't give a shit what they said. Cash did what she did. JoJo didn't get no justice. None of the witnesses, none of the victims got justice. Nobody. The only people seem to got a little satisfaction, so they think, is Shannon and Annette. Nobody got justice. Not even Naziah. We have to keep it all the way real. We have to keep it all the way real. Even Naziah in this situation didn't get no justice. One says, I was hoping for a trial so that maybe Janiyah in Brooklyn would be asked when was the last time they saw Naziah. Those 2 girls' recollection was pretty good on the stand. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But they robbed them of that. And they did it intentionally. TB said he probably sent all types of threats over that jail recorded call. I don't believe he threatened Shannon nor Annette. I believe Annette and Shannon was telling Jarvis what to safely say and what to safely not say. Annette is the puppet master. She's the ringleader. Shannon ain't safe. This case ain't over. This case ain't over. Strong Survive says Jarvis saw them throw him to the wolves. Then stop informing them hoes about what he was privileged to in his discovery paperwork through his attorney. Now they want to know what Jarvis told. That part. Told y'all. Jarvis wasn't behind that mask with that yellow notepad and that too short pencil for no reason. You gotta think like a criminal. Jarvis stayed in those law books. Jarvis kept getting the transcripts. He was looking at his discovery paperwork. Jarvis ain't crazy. Jarvis knew they offered Shannon immunity. He knew. So Jarvis said, I'm going to stick you before you stick me. That part. Lady V, welcome, my love. No, the plea deal is not off the table for Jarvis. Y'all should have known it was suspect. Y'all should have known Detroit was moving crooked, grimy in every aspect. Because how do you give? How do you offer a plea deal with no expiration date? That plea deal didn't have an expiration date. It was open till whenever. Because they thought they was playing checkers with Jarvis. Y'all should, that was a sign right there. You got to pay attention. That fat lady go hit that high note. The inmates say Jarvis was always on the phone talking to them, and they were loading his books. I could believe that. Jackson said, is King still in jail? Is Vari? Lady, you claim you don't deal with your family. It's time for you to speak out. I've been waiting for that crackhead to speak out. For Top Flight, I see you, boo. Thank you, my love. You better talk your shit, sis. I'm in the closet watching. Love you all. Top, laying it down. I feel you, boo. I'm about to lay it down too, Top. It's been a long day for sister. Yeah, they come and get Shannon ass. And Annette. Lady V, they gave Jarvis the plea deal. He accepted it with conditions. They told the criminal that he has to truthfully, that's one of his conditions, he has to truthfully tell them where Nazaya's body is. And Jarvis says, Jarvis says he threw her body in Rouge River. Lady V, thank you, my love. She said, I heard the news. Did Jarvis have to say how he unalived her in order to get the second degree? It is, look, this is not over. Jarvis got that plea deal, facing 35 to 60 years. Only condition, no more contact with Annette. And that's a red flag. No more contact with Annette. Truthfully tell us where the body is. That's the condition. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, y'all. Top, I heard she got immunity too. But that immunity is now off the table, Top. Shannon, if you had immunity, now you ain't got shit. When Jarvis accepted that plea deal, the prosecutor have no more use for you. See, the immunity was given to Shannon because if they were going to go to trial, Shannon was going to sit there and testify against Jarvis. No more trial. So there's no need for her testimony. That plea deal through that immunity, straight to hell, right where it belonged. Right where it belonged. But guys, we could be out here all night talking about this, but my little heart can't take no more. But we're going to be out here tomorrow night doing just a little bit more. Nazaya deserves us to keep speaking her name. To keep speaking her name, because if that family don't want justice for Nazaya, her social media family wants justice for her. And if y'all rock with Mocha the Long Way, and y'all appreciate what y'all get when y'all come here, make sure you hit the like button for your girl. Subscribe to the channel. Support the channel. Because we don't come out here and do this for fun. We don't come out here and do this for fun. And I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to bid all you all a good night. But do your girl a favor. Flood the chat with justice scales for Nazaya. Justice for Nazaya. Hearts for Nazaya. Just know I love each and every one of you. And I love the fact that y'all hold me down. Because tonight, with all the uplifting that y'all gave me when I started this live stream, I don't think I could have carried it this far. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Because my heart hurts. I'm not out here just to have something to talk about. This baby matters to all of us. All of us. Good night. God bless. Y'all flood the chat for me. Hearts, hearts, hearts for Naziah. We're out of here.
Welcome to Mocha's Nola Bells and Bows, where the love runs deep, the fam stays strong, and the bells, they always ring for us. We the bells and we hold it down, yeah. Real ones only, we don't mess around. All love, no cap, no clout to chase, just truth in the chat and respecting the space. It's family, Mocha got that heart of gold. From the south to the stream, we brave and bold. You ain't gotta pick sides or play a role, just show a real and you already home. Yeah, 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 yeah. Pull up to the bells and bows like a Sunday seed. Got peace in the room and the vibe on beat. No drama, no mess, just minds that meet. Introduce yourself in the chat and the mods gon' greet. Real talk, we got brothers and sisters here. Ain't no fake love, every heart sincere. We've been through storms, but the sky stay clear. Loyalty live, that's the chant you hear. Woo! No chaos in the comment section, just bells with a bond and a bold connection. Safe space, strong face, deep reflection. Mocha, don't fold, that's pure protection. If you ever felt unheard, misunderstood, pull up in the chat, we treat you good. Ain't gotta be loud, just gotta be true. Mocha got the light and we shine with you. Not a panel of pain, it's a platform of pride. Everybody got space and we don't divide. You loyal, you love, that's how we ride. Got a bell and a bow in the name, but a tribe world. From the mods to the lurkers and folks on rewatch. Every tap, every like, we feel it alive. Mocha ain't just a name, it's a vibe you caught. Nola bell, Nola boast, that's a family, not a thought. Bring it loud, we the bells and we hold it down. Yeah, we do. Real ones only, we don't mess around. Real talk, love, no cap, no clout to chase. Just truth in the chat and respecting the space. It's family, Mocha got that heart of gold. From the south to the stream, we brave and bold. You ain't gotta pick sides or play a role to show a real and you already home. Mocha said that to every bell in this space. Whether you typing, watching, or just vibing, you are this family. And over here, we don't fold, we ring. Ooh. Oh. We stand tall, we rise as one. No bells, the work ain't done. No. Mocha leading from the heart, never run. Truth and caring, everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. This is family. This is family. And we stand tall. Tapping if you real, we don't fake nothing here. Got a team full of truth and a chat full of cheer. Mocha in the seat, steady steering the ship. Every topic got depth, every comment got grip. We don't tear folks down, we just build them up. If you're moving off love, then you one of us. Know the pride in the room and the vibe so loud. Every bell in the chat gon' rep that crowd. We stand tall, we rise as one. Know the bells, the work ain't done. Mocha leading from the heart, never run. Truth and caring, everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. This is family. mission in mind. We protect what's right and we hold that line. It's the chat where the truth and the love collide, where the voices don't hide and the pain gets light. We see you, we feel you, we fight for the cause. Every kid, every tear, we break down walls. When you hear that bell, that's the call to act. We family now, and that's just facts. We stand tall, we rise as one. Know the bells, the work ain't done. Leading from the heart, never run. Truth and care are everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. This one's for every voice we fight for and every child who needs to be heard. We see you, we feel you, we stand with the truth. This is the No Look Bells. Leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Stand tall with join the family.
Good night, everyone. God bless. We'll be back here tomorrow.